I never knew how short Lucifer is before now, but I don't care, he's still pretty hot. And about the episodes, they make the biggest problem in Hazbin Hotel really hard to ignore. They're rushed, like the whole show is rushed. And I'll explain, starting with Deadbeat Dead. Now, I have no problem with Lucifer. I always knew he was a goofball, and seeing it is just something else. And with that being said, him and Lilith have split, like divorced. That would explain a lot actually, but I still think she should have kept in touch with her daughter. But we still don't know what happened exactly to warrant that. Thank God. In fact, we haven't even seen Lilith's face yet, so I think she's meant for something big, hopefully. Now, back to Lucifer. I absolutely love how he reacted to Alastor and Charlie's relationship.
I am happy to fulfill her bizarre requests.
Oh, thank you, Alastor.
I wish. But no, it's not what you think. It's even worse.
You could almost call me Dad.
And I love this. However, I didn't get to see any of it at play. They spent almost no time on developing the characters and their relationships, except for Angel and Husk. And they definitely should have, because how else are people going to be invested in characters they don't know at all? And I know this isn't a problem for everyone, but you can't make a show just for the existing fans alone. And I know it's not a small fandom, but it could have attracted a lot more fans if only it followed the same format most good shows did and had more filler episodes and slowed down a little bit more. But the thing is, I don't know if this is all because of the production itself or because it wasn't given enough episodes to finish the story properly. So I don't know how I should feel about this. But for now though, I'll just ignore it and enjoy what it has to offer regardless. Like Alastor, who was great in this episode. I love how we finally got more details into what made him so scary and that he stopped all of a sudden and no one questions it because he does what he wants and he doesn't need a reason for that.
Big talk for someone who's also on a leash.
Oh my god. And judging by Husk's reaction, it's safe to say he never acted this way towards him. Ever. And Husk is actually trembling. Poor kitty. Oh wait, he's not a real cat. Anyway, that made him angry. And it's safe to assume this is why he stopped killing overlords. But who is this person that fucking Alastor sold his soul to? I know it can't be another overlord, cause they all seem to treat each other as equals, most of them at least. So my guess is Lilith, since she also disappeared for 7 years, so they have to be connected somehow. And I know it can't be Lucifer, but maybe it's someone new? But regardless of who it might be, it's really interesting. And I love that Husk, despite everything, still warned Alastor about Mimsy, cause he secretly cares and has a secret crush on him. Definitely not, but that won't stop me from dreaming. And speaking of Mimsy, she was very relatable here.
Move it! Pleased to meet you, Your Highness.
But in all seriousness, I think she was introduced well. She causes problems on purpose and hides behind Alastor, who always helps her clean her messes, just because they knew each other when they were alive. But he did tell her off this time for bringing trouble into the hotel, admitting that he cares about it. But I don't know if it's out of his own volition or because someone is making him care. And before I move to the next episode, I want to say that I liked how they resolved Charlie and Lucifer's complicated relationship despite it being rushed. I never thought Lucifer was angry or disappointed or anything like that with Charlie for wanting to redeem sinners. Just that he knows how heaven is like and why it might not work because he himself tried and failed. So he didn't stop her, but he wouldn't help her either. And that took a toll on him.
Depression.
But he was right. Heaven won't listen to him, no matter what, because he is Lucifer. But they may listen to Charlie, and now he knows she might actually convince them. So he'll help her this time and get her meeting upstairs, and that whole song they shared was adorable.
Good luck, kiddo.
Aww. And now I'll move on to Welcome to Heaven, and I didn't like the meeting with Heaven. And I get it, they are hypocrites, but it's a little on the nose. Not to mention it's a little bit early to reveal all of that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, I don't mind that the exterminations were never a necessity and their actual purpose is to prevent an uprising. In fact, I like it. But this should have been revealed a lot later than they did in the show. Same with this whole episode. But I'll just ignore it for now. I like that the argument is that sinners deserve a second chance and not that they don't deserve hell or something, but it's kinda irrelevant anyway because they're not the ones who pass judgment on anyone, and thank God, because they're absolute hypocrites. They let Adam get away with all the shit he does and says, but gasp in horror when Charlie cursed and Angel drank a shot. And I don't really like this. I don't like that heaven is that morally corrupt. It would have been better if it was settled, at this point in time at least. Like have Adam and maybe others as well act morally righteous while they do some shady things behind closed doors. Like Moral Oral did. But since that's not what they did, we got some sort of straw man argument with Adam instead. But that's okay, I guess. The problem is that every soul other than Adam in heaven seemed pretty decent. Actually, all of heaven seemed decent. I don't know why Vega didn't want to go.
Do you really think I wouldn't recognize one of my top girls just because you're out of uniform?
I fucking knew it! I know it was obvious, but it still feels good nonetheless.
It's why I named you after the best thing ever, Vaggie.
I hate everything right now. And speaking of which, how did the angels not know about the extermination? Lut is there with them at the council. Or maybe they know they have an armed force, they just didn't know what they do every year? This makes sense for Emily since she seems young, but did no one ever question it before? Like, ever? But anyway, they seem to care about souls regardless if they sinned or not, so maybe they'll turn against Sarah and stop the exterminations first before they decide to take them in. Now the part I liked, Angel Dust and the rest of the gang. I like that they brought back Cherry Bomb, I just wish it was a little earlier. And I think I'm not the only one who's happy to see her.
Don't fucking touch me, you munted dickhead.
You have a certain type, don't you, Pentious? And despite the fact that I shaped them, I wish we saw them interact more before this, but they're still pretty cute though. And now to Angel Dust. I was worried they will do a repeat of the pilot with Angel this time, but thank God they didn't. And I'm glad Husky's dad was talked some sense into him, and he listened to him. Good, good. Hey, why is Valentino here?
Yeah, I'm here all the time. They know me.
I bet he doesn't know what the club's name means. And I love that Angel finally managed to stand up to him. Not for himself, but for Nifty. Even if he knows he's gonna pay for it later. It seems like he's only willing to stand up to him when he's trying to hurt other people. But regardless, it was still satisfying to see Angel tell him off like that.
Oh, what the fuck? For my collection.
Thanks, Nifty. And with that, we only have 2 episodes left, and I hope to God they won't mess it up. Please. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Well, it's not very clever.
Ah, fuck you.
Language. Watch your language.
Oh, you kiss your mother with that mouth?